what's going on.
Are we on the air? Has
We're
it
live.
started?
We're live streaming right now.
Right.
100,000 people.
Why do you got 2 drinks and I got like nothing?
I brought one for you.
How do you know which one I want?
You want that one or you want the super berry?
That one's looking a little bit better. I am the guest now.
That is true.
It was opened already.
I took a sip, all right? Cheers. The official sponsor of the podcast, kombuchas.
Are they really?
All kombuchas are the official sponsors.
No kidding.
No, I don't have any sponsors.
You should.
I've got a guy who's trains dogs. He sponsored the podcast.
Yeah.
But basically, you just get a discount code if you listen.
If you listen to the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh.
You get a discount code for
the podcast.
sponsor the pod.
Yeah.
We're doing sponsored appearances.
All right.
This show is going to cost you $10,000. It's a minimum donation required.
I thought sponsors are like you air their commercials or something and get paid.
Yeah, exactly. You'd pay me and I'll air your commercial.
I don't really have any commercials.
All right. Well,
I'm not selling anything.
we'll do no commercials. Just the sponsorship money.
I'm not selling anything except my trucks.
You can sell your trucks on the podcast.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah.
Well, they don't look like truck buyers.
How do you know? How do you know what they look like?
They look like cameras.
There could be a million people behind those cameras.
That's true.
Is your volume pretty good?
It's perfect.
Nice.
I like those paintings.
Yeah, they're good paintings.
Where are they going to fit?
I don't think they're actually going to go in here. I think I'm going to put them in the front room.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've got actually a lot of artwork that's on the way, but it gets here tomorrow. So bare walls for now. This used to be a semi-completed and bare wall, but I just finished it last weekend. Was pumping it out. First time using the jigsaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, did pretty good. Look, I had to make the outlet cuts too for the holes.
All right. The lines are a little off.
Yeah, well the
walls
room
are
the
not
room
level.
isn't even. Yeah. There's actually from the bottom to the other side.
Did
There's
you
like
start from that way and go that way?
there's an 1.5 inch difference from one side to the other.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you know whose fault that is?
Yeah.
Jorge.
Or
Jorge was framing your house.
back in the 1960s.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, is that common for it to be like that off on one side to the
No,
other?
just on, some houses you just got shitty jobs.
Yeah.
No one caught it. Mm-hmm. Inspectors really don't you never see an inspector with a level.
Yeah, measuring one
Unless
side to
it's
the other.
a plumbing pipe or something, waistline, and he doesn't think it's correct. He might put a little torpedo level on it. Not on a wall.
Yeah, because from your eye, it just looks like normal, but there's it's literally almost 2 inches from one side to the other difference.
That's crazy.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just bad.
But my excellent craftsmanship got it done. Because you basically had to measure each piece differently.
Well, it's supposed to start level through one row. How
Yeah.
wide are those?
I don't know, maybe 2 foot by 2 foot or
Yeah,
something.
you should start. I would have started on the corner and just level the inside where you're going to continue. And if anything is out of level on that side, just let it stick over until one side is at the corner. Then you just got to do one straight cut down, and then everything that you put to the right of it will be level. We line up perfect. If you get the first row perfect, everything that follows of it's going to be perfect.
Yeah, well, my first time doing it. What are you going to do?
But yeah,
Can't really tell that much from the cameras.
oh, it looks good. Who cares?
Yeah, thanks.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, your wall's out of level.
Yeah,
This place sucks.
yeah.
No.
This is pretty nice too. I like my sign right here. I got this guy, the Frantic Foamer. I met him. He's a Uber driver. Was Ubering me somewhere, and he gave me his card, and he does things like that. And so he gave me a sign. He made me a sign. Very reasonable price too.
What does that mean? No credentials? Like anybody could come here?
Yeah, just like the name of the podcast.
Oh, is that the name of the podcast?
Yeah, no credentials. Okay. Yeah.
So you're not going to ask me what are your credentials?
Well, I was thinking actually of doing something of like going to maybe the most credentialed people, like because there's a lot of people who are like juggernauts in the real estate industry that like I've talked to or could make the pitch of saying like, hey, I've got a podcast called No Credentials where I interview the most credentialed people in town. Although if
So it's an oxymoron.
could be, although if you look at the actual previous videos, it's all just a bunch of doofuses.
So, well, actually, it's just morons.
No oxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No oxy, just morons.
Don't give morons oxy. You really have a show.
Yeah, right. No, I'm just kidding. There's been a diverse range of people. Mostly jiu-jitsu people have come on so far. But I've had a couple like real estate colleagues come on. I've had some people who are just like, they've got like their own comedy show that they've come on. But besides those people, mostly jiu-jitsu people have come on.
Oh, wow. They got their own comedy show?
I mean, it's not like, it's not doing numbers. It's not doing any crazy numbers or anything, but she's like trying to start it.
Oh, she?
Yeah, it was a guy and a girl. Oh. She started it and he kind of hopped on. It was this lady that I met from this sushi place. Actually, she was like a bartender and they do karaoke too. Uh-huh. And they'll do like, she's actually got an incredible voice. She'll be like pouring drinks while belting out like Aretha Franklin. And it's just, yeah, she's got like a really killer voice. Walk and Roll is where she works.
Walk and Roll.
Yeah.
Is she funny?
She's pretty funny. Yeah. I think her thing is called Big Hair Don't Care. She's got this like, big, like literally up to here when she does
1950s hair?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And it's pretty cool.
Cool.
But yeah, I had them on, but mostly jiu-jitsu people.
Okay.
Yeah. You're the first family member I've had on.
No, really?
Yeah. Sully could come on next.
Okay. I don't know what to talk about.
I was thinking about it earlier today. You told me a story maybe like when I was like 15 years old or something. When I don't know if you were like the contractor on it or you were just a laborer or something. It was when you were working in New York and you had to create a safe for some bank or something. You had to pour the concrete walls for the safe.
DEA building.
It was a DEA building?
DEA building. It's like on 10th Avenue, and I forgot the cross street.
Huh.
Yeah, like West Side.
It
used to be the world's largest cold storage building. It took up an entire city block.
Really?
And DEA bought it back in the 80s whenever I was working on there. It could have been 86 or 87, somewhere around there.
What did you...
I was a little crazy back then, and my friend his brother, Mark Casanova, this guy was a nut. He had like 200, 300 guns at home. Mm-hmm. And we used to...
300 guns?
Literally. And we used to fire like machine guns in there.
Wow.
In
the DEA place?
In the DEA building.
Wow.
After hours and whatnot, before work started.
Really?
Or even when work was going on, we'd just go up a couple of floors and shoot.
What the hell? What's like stopping the bullets?
Just the brick walls and whatnot. Yeah, we just shoot them at the walls.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Did a lot more worse things than that, though.
Yeah. Didn't you say you did something to the wall or like the safe wall?
Yeah, I think it's on the 8th floor. There's a giant safe that's floor to ceiling concrete with like thick rebars, and we had to pour that like on the floor above. We drilled holes and poured it into the walls and vibrated it. But the day before the pour, me and Mark went there and opened up the Simmons forms and cut out the rebar and put a square piece of styrofoam in there. And so there's like 1.5 inches of concrete on both sides and a styrofoam void in the middle because we were going to go back and rob them.
How thick is it supposed to be?
Huh?
How thick is it supposed to be?
It was, I would say, maybe 8 inches thick or 10 inches thick.
It's supposed to be like 8 to 10 of solid concrete.
Solid concrete, yeah. And I know where it is. I know where I think if I went there with a hammer, I could find it.
Yeah.
Because it would crack where the styrofoam is.
Interesting. I wonder if that's still a building or if it's been like demoed and created into something else.
It's still a building, I'm pretty sure.
You think so? Because New York constantly gets redeveloped and turned into higher
I think
buildings.
they were planning. That was, I believe, before Pablo was killed. When that was under construction. So
What, Pablo Escobar?
Yeah, so they were planning on like getting so much from Caesars, drunk Caesars and whatnot. We put giant ramps in so that you could just drive from floor to floor, and it wasn't like that before.
Wow.
So yeah, they were.
You could drive up the place in a car?
You can drive from floor to floor.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so they must have been perceiving a lot of shit was going to go in there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still there. They think they have this like super sick safe. You could just go in and.
It's ironic. We had a friend that was Colombian and he was selling cocaine, and we used to take the empty cocaine kilo bags there and burn them in the DEA building. I mean, like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. How funny.
Yeah.
Interesting. That was a time when.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that kind of stuff is going on there, but.
I think it's like probably less likely stuff like that ever is going to happen again because of like cell phones and cameras and like everything you go is like recorded now.
Yeah, I mean they have they got like cameras on site now. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, even on construction sites.
Yeah, things in New York are different than like out here in West Coast. Like over there, when they built the high-rise building, it was on a 2-day cycle. Over here, it could be on a 1-month cycle, and that means like every month it'll go up a floor. You know, like you see some of these buildings, they're not really topped out until about a year later.
Yeah.
And over there, it's every other day. One day, you're pouring concrete. The very next day, you got 2 sets of forms. The very next day, they're erecting the forms, and they deck it out by the end of the day. Rebar, electric, everything.
Wow.
And the day after, they're pouring again. So you can go away for 2 weeks and come back, and there's a 15-story building in your courtyard.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's the difference? What do you think the reason is the difference for the pace? Why it's so much faster over
I
there?
mean, it's been like that for a really long time. That's just the way it was.
You think it's like just more labor
It's
on
all
one job or
union,
something?
and it's all union back there. And on jobs like that, it wasn't like everybody could get a job. It's like either you knew what you were doing or you knew somebody. And those were the 2 reasons why you got hired.
Well, you got hired in construction?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Maybe it's easier now.
And
you
I
think?
didn't really know anybody. You know, like my dad got me into the union through his your grandfather, through the Irish super that was in his building, the superintendent. So I got in the Irish union, and I'm not Irish. You know?
Yeah.
And it was the Irish and 2 Italian unions. And the Irish union, Local 18A, Cement and Concrete Workers Union, was run by this guy, Tom Hennessy, and this other guy, Mo Foley. And they both were gun runners for the IRA. So they had
What's IRA stand for? Italian?
the Irish Republican Army.
Oh, Irish Republican Army.
Yeah, and they would like murder Brits that were in Ireland, and they were terrorists. And you can call them that, or you could call them freedom fighters too. That's what a lot of Irish people call them because they just wanted the Brits out of their country.
Yeah.
It was ruled by Britain, and then it was also a civil war, the Catholics against the Protestants in Ireland. They were killing each other, and what happened when I was working there? Every now and then I would become a shop steward, and that position,
Become a shop steward?
shop steward on the job.
What's that mean?
So I'm appointed by my local union to pretty much make sure nobody from our local was getting fucked over by the company, you know, hours-wise, time-wise, just like treated fairly. But what it really was when I was shop steward, they would send guys in from Ireland that were on the lam. That means they were running away from the Brits because they committed murder or terrorist bombings or something. And they would, Tom had say, hey, I got, Mikey McDougal and this other guy coming and I want you to take care of them. And that, I was like, okay. And that just meant, watch out for them, make sure they got something to do, that they don't get fired, that they don't get hurt. And they were just like,
Interesting.
yeah.
So when you say there's like Irish unions and Italian unions, is that like just because the Irish guy started it or an Italian guy started it, or it's like
That's the way it always, it's
sort of like the mob or something, or it's like
no, it's the three locals that ran the concrete industry in New York. Just like the Irish, the Irish were pretty much in charge of the police union and also the fire department union mostly. Certain unions were controlled by certain races, and that was back in the 70s and 80s, and before that, 60s and whatnot. Now it's so diverse, and all the neighborhoods have changed. And I'm sure all the politics have totally changed too.
Yeah.
I mean, when I left New York in 1990, it was the first black mayor, Mayor Dinkins, and there's been several since him.
Yeah.
So things have changed.
Interesting.
Yeah. The Italian unions in the cement and concrete industry were run by mobsters. So most of the companies, I don't think I ever worked for any Irish company. Like just about all the companies were run by Italians or mobsters. They ran the cement industry in New York. I worked for like G&G Concrete for 8 years, Genovese and Gambino Concrete.
Interesting.
And those were the mob bosses were actually the owners. And
because a lot of them had like fronts, like in The Sopranos, they were like in the trash business, right?
yeah, they got to wash their money somehow. So I worked with those guys, not like just because of circumstances, like for instance, when I was on the St. Vincent's Hospital in downtown Manhattan on the east side, and Sammy Gravano was the foreman there.
Is that Sammy the Bull?
Yeah, it is. Same guy. And I didn't know him, and I just knew through, I guess, like, chatter that he was a bad guy, And one day on that job, and he was like the general foreman of that job, right? And I just got that job through this Irish guy, Patty, and I was only there for a month or so, but like the tail end of the job. So somebody had wanted me to bring something or say something to Sammy because he had no radio and he was like on the 8th floor or something like that. I don't even really remember the circumstances. I think I just had to tell him something that somebody was looking for him. And so I think that was it. Yeah. So I remember going up to him and he's like standing on the edge of the building. And I'm like, hey, Sammy, I'm Tim. So-and-so set me up here to tell you that so-and-so was looking for you. And the guy like never like looked at me. He just like kept his head turned the other way. Like never gave no eye-to-eye contact, not even face-to-face contact. You talk to somebody, they'll turn around and look at you.
Yeah.
He didn't even do that. And so I remember he's like screaming at somebody down in the street. And the guy down the street was the shop steward, this Irish guy, and they were yelling back and forth at each other about something. I have no idea. But just at that moment, I was thinking, I could just push this fucker right off the building right now. And nobody would know, But then again, somebody would know because I had to tell him a message. But I was like, this is the chance.
Yeah, right.
And I just like,
end this guy.
Yeah, I could just end his fucking time. I could have, but I didn't, of course. But
I heard he's done some pretty fucked up stuff. He does like podcasts now, though.
Cold-blooded murderer, yeah.
Have you seen him? He's got like crazy face surgery. It looks like
he lived out here for a long time
in Arizona.
Yeah, and he was like running a ecstasy ring with his son.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, his son and his son's friends. They were like
some people just can't
they
get
never
away
got
from
out
it.
of the criminal business. He's probably still in the criminal business wherever he is now.
Yeah,
probably doing some crazy. That was just his whole entire life.
Yeah, interesting. How weird. Some people can't get away from it.
No, the guy's a rat.
You'd think he'd make enough money. Is that what why people think he's fucked up? He's a rat? He's like,
yeah, well, you can't trust a guy like that.
Yeah.
Especially in the mob scenario, that's like a death sentence. You rat.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be. I don't know how he's still alive.
Yeah.
And they haven't come after him, but.
Well, it's a lot tougher to get away with stuff now. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know if like that type of stuff, even just mobs in general and whatnot. Like everything is so documented. You couldn't do 90% of the stuff that they did and got away with.
Yeah, they got away with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like any major event happens and there's like literally 100 or however many people that were around there, they're POV of it because everyone can have a camera that whips it out. Mm-hmm. Makes it a lot tougher to run a mob.
True that. Yeah, they were pretty obnoxious about what they got away with. Flaunting it right in the public eye.
Yeah, I mean, killing people in general. It's like, and plus DNA and stuff. It's almost impossible to get away with that stuff now.
They did though. They wouldn't leave any DNA. They'd get rid of the body completely.
Yeah.
Your Uncle Chris's boss was killed by John Gotti.
Interesting.
Yeah. He ran over his son. His son was riding a mini bike and he's on his way home. He lived in Howard Beach where Gotti lived, I think on the same street. And his kid just jumped out in the middle of the street on the mini bike and he hit him and he got killed. He stopped and everything. And everybody told him, you better leave, better get out of here. He had his business, his life, his family in there. And he just disappeared one day, never to be found again.
Wow.
And if you kill Gotti's son, you could guarantee that guy got him.
Yeah, you're dying as well.
And tortured the shit out of him and then chopped him up into little pieces. He was probably in a bunch of hot dogs the next day.
Yeah, you do something like that, you got to skip town.
Yeah. Well, with a nut job like that, And
but like that type of stuff, there's no way it could happen today. Just because, obviously everyone knows, there's going to be some sort of video evidence of at least like people going there or leaving, or there's video cameras fucking everywhere.
They're not people like Gotti anymore. I think they are, but they're so low key now because, that was one of the rules that he kind of broke. That he was, flaunting it. I'm the Godfather, Dapper Don, Teflon Don, all those nicknames he's got. And I think that got a lot of the older mob guys angry.
Interesting.
So, yeah. And the guy he killed, Paul Castellano, he was a godfather before Gotti, but he was like low key. Yeah. And his crew, he had the $1 billion a year stolen car ring, and those were all the guys that I grew up with in my neighborhood in the Junction down on Flatbush Avenue. Yeah. They weren't my friends. I kind of hung out with them every now and then. They had the leader of the group, his name was Ronnie Bulldog, and he had this badass Kawasaki 1000, and I had a Kawasaki 1000, and my neighbor Joe had a Kawasaki 1000, and we go out and we go to the Cross Bay Boulevard and do drag races with like 100 other bikes. So it was crazy running with 100 bikes on the Belt Parkway. But all those guys lived in my neighborhood, and like Ronnie had a turbo Porsche Carrera. This is back like in '78, and like, he's the only guy I knew with a turbo Porsche Carrera, and they were all criminals.
That's crazy.
So like all the peers that I seen, the people that were making money were all criminals, until I moved out and got a little older and went to Staten Island. Like, okay, and I met some business people, but before then, the only people that were really wealthy were the business owners and the criminals.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Now it's business owners and the gays are all the wealthy people in New York.
That's not nice.
Just kidding. It is interesting how much it's changed.
Yeah, I mean, I never idolized those guys. I was pretty much sickened by them.
Yeah.
They would just like get things that guys like me couldn't get, just because they're them, or they're related to them or something like that.
Yeah.
And everybody else was treated like dirt. So.
It's interesting. It seems to be like there's never going to be that level of like organized crime that's like not already incestuous with the government anymore. Or like the government like obviously does a lot of crazy shit that's probably illegal, but
paid off back then. The cops were, I laugh when I see New York's finest and the boys in blue and we got to respect our law enforcement
Because they were just paid employees.
They were the biggest piece of shits on earth. My last memory in the 1980s of cops, I was in a cop car with two cops in uniform, and we were all doing cocaine together.
How'd that happen?
There were guys that grew up with that, became cops.
Oh,
and that's my, and it's, the New York cops were the dirtiest in the country, bar none.
Yeah.
And you hear things about that, like the California cops were the most racist in the country,
Yeah.
And so they're, I don't know how it is now, but I don't think just because you wear a badge, you should be put up on a pedestal and, you're above the citizens because you're wearing a badge. It's a choice. Nobody forced you into that job.
Yeah.
I mean, they do put their lives on the line when it comes down to it, but not all of them do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a job I would want to do. It's like, it is something that's risky, and I'm not, doesn't pay very much.
How many times are they really risking it? Most times they're directing traffic or doing some bullshit things. They're not like out there risking their lives every day. It isn't like, El Salvador or Medellin.
Yeah, that's true.
Where there's cartels running all over.
Well, it also depends on what location you're in. If you're like a cop in the south side of Chicago, then it's probably a lot more dangerous.
I'm sure there's a lot of, it's just like anything else. There's a lot of good police officers and there's a lot of good fire department officers, but.
Yeah, it's like, there's plumbers. There's like good plumbers and shitty plumbers. Just like anyone or anything. There's just less room for it when you're like in charge of other people. If you're a piece of shit and you are able to like arrest someone, then you shouldn't be in that position.
Well, there's documented. There was some real piece of shit cops in New York. I mean, they were drug dealers. They were even hired killers that were cops. And there was a lot of them, and especially in the 70s. I think the 70s and the 80s were probably the worst decades for New York City as far as having corrupt people in every facet of the government and civil employment. Yeah, it was really, really bad.
It's like one of the best places to be a criminal, actually, as a cop, because it's like, who's going to fucking arrest you? It's like your buddies and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. They had that don't rat your cop. They were like another form of the mob.
Yeah, it's like a brotherhood.
Yeah, and if they ratted on their buddies, they would wind up.
Yeah, then you're like the out one.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it now, it's still corrupt. Look at Letitia James. She went after Trump for the way he did his real estate dealings, and she's guilty of the same exact thing. She's being accused of the same exact thing that she tried to put him away for.
Who's that?
Letitia James, Attorney General in New York.
Oh, in New York?
Yeah.
She does like crazy real estate stuff too?
She lied. She lied about her second home or her third home. Like she made it like a primary residence. And meanwhile, she has like 4 tenants in there.
Yeah.
It was a multi-level brownstone, and she lied to get a better rate. And she was trying to put Trump away for that same exact thing. For lying about.
Yeah, they're all fucking hypocrites.
Yeah, it's all BS. But,
it is all BS. What the fuck? What are we gonna do?
Well, I don't know. Got to root them out.
Yeah, right. Maybe overthrow the government. You gotta take them back.
I don't know if you can overthrow this government. Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I don't know. In general, it'd probably be tough to overthrow the American government.
Well, I think it's not about overthrowing the government. It's about the people collaborating and
people, meaning people in government collaborating, or the general population?
Everybody, and stop being brainwashed by the bullshit.
Yeah. I think the whole 2-party system is like net terrible for people.
Well, and you got to get government and religion don't mix. It's oil and water.
Yeah.
Religion does not belong anywhere near government.
Yeah. And
now they're trying to entwine the two.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody from the right is right, everybody from the left is right, and everybody from the right is wrong, and everybody from the left is wrong. They're wrong and right about different issues. But, I mean, the reason why we have wars is because government and religion mix. Everywhere there's a war, it's because government and religion mix.
Yeah.
You know, how do you have a Taliban as part of the government? How do you have Hamas is governing Gaza? You know, it's just, and now they're trying to entwine Christianity with
American
Republicans.
government. Yeah,
you know, they're just, you know, with especially since this Kirk guy got murdered.
Yeah,
you know, and they're really trying to like entwine it with government and religion, and it's
not good.
I don't agree with it because I don't agree with a lot of Christianity.
Yeah. Well, that's like one of our like founding principles is like separation from church and state. You know, it should be completely different.
That should be the first thing that they talk about, but that's not, they don't even mention it right now.
No, not at all. Part of like being a good American is now like being a Catholic or being a Christian.
Yeah, and it's
not to say there's anything wrong with it. I think most of the people that are religious like are probably, I don't know about most, but there's plenty of people that are good people that do it. And there's kind of like fucking cops. There's good people that are religious and there's bad people that are religious.
Well, you know, they say the same thing about what Seinfeld. Remember what Seinfeld said? Not that there's anything wrong with it. And they were talking about gay people. So it's like Christianity. They're trying to say all gay people are mentally ill. Right?
Yeah.
And then the gay people are saying that Christians are, are gay phobic or something like that. But you know, Christianity has been edited for the last 400 years. So what they're teaching is not really what Christianity started out on.
Yeah.
So I don't really.
I think all of them could be good if you're just, but I don't think they're necessary to be a good person. You can be a good person,
absolutely,
and not have to, be abide by the scripture or whatnot. I think there's also plenty of people that like use like words in the Bible or words in whatever their religion to like justify like hateful action towards people.
Well, every religion on earth, Christianity, Catholicism, Muslims, Islam, they all have aliens in their history. You know, I mean, even Jesus Christ said, "I am not of this earth." You know, well, if you're not of this earth, you're from somewhere else, right?
I think it's the Anunnaki.
I don't know what it is. Some people think he might be Thoth.
Thoth?
Thoth.
What's that?
Thoth is the architect of the pyramids all around the world.
Was that's what like?
They say he's an Atlantean. So
But that's like a
Atlantean
theory
wasn't
of
just
like
the little island. Atlantis was the entire globe at one time. And giants and Anunnaki are just part of history. And Christianity and government, the two entwined. The Smithsonian Institute, which is not a private organization, it's a government institute, along with the Vatican, went around the globe for the last 100 years and seized every single giant skeleton that was found. And there was thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of them. And they're trying to erase it from history. Why? Because they're trying to keep this made-up story of Christianity alive, you know? And it's really a bullshit story.
Why don't they do that with dinosaur bones? Because I think like dinosaur bones
how do we
also.
know that they haven't, that there's stuff. And dinosaurs are dinosaurs. They're not people. You know, 30-foot human beings or human-like creatures, that's something they don't want in the Bible. You know, a 60-foot dinosaur, who gives a fuck? It's a dinosaur. It's not going to tell you a story. It didn't have intelligence.
Yeah.
A 30-foot human being that built pyramids and built Sacsayhuaman in Peru and all these incredible structures that they cannot duplicate today. These were built by giants. You think
it was giants that built them?
The door headers are 30 feet tall. Why would a 5-foot? They didn't have tall men back then. Like
it's kind of sick having a big door.
Why would you have a 60-foot fucking door if you're 5'3".
But like, I'm sure the Taj Mahal has like big ass doors like that. Some of the big churches have big doors. Just kind of sick having a big ass door.
Yeah. But they say they built them with little chisels and hammers, and they were just these people couldn't even read, and they're building stuff that we can't build today. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's total bullshit. You go there, you go to Peru, and you freaking go up next to these things, you put your hand on them, and you know they weren't built by what they teach you in elementary school. Is, oh, yeah, the natives.
Or the slaves.
Yeah, they were just dumb, and they all illiterate, and they didn't have a written language, and they used little primitive tools, chicken bones and rocks on sticks.
Yeah.
You know, and how do you build something like the pyramid with like that?
Well, one of the biggest things is like each of the blocks in like the pyramids in Egypt are like a couple tons each, and they come from somewhere that's like tens of miles or like hundreds of miles away. So it's like, how did they get that from there to here in the first place?
They flew.
They flew it.
Yeah, frequency. Everything is frequency.
You think it was like a plane? They had planes back then?
No, if you put a frequency, sound waves, if you put a frequency, they're doing it already in labs, if you direct it to an object, it'll levitate.
They do that right now?
Oh yeah, and that's even in the Bible. That one of those, I forgot where it was, but one of those cities they attacked, they all used horns with a certain frequency, and they all blew their trumpets, and all the walls of the city just started collapsing.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, if you go to church, you'll hear that. You know, I don't go to church, but I've heard that story in church.
In church, they said that?
Hell yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah. They're also talking about angels coming down. They had feathers on their ankles and, the wings on their back. I'm like, that sounds like a tail wing and a regular wing from an aircraft, It's like, everything's interpreted into an angel. It's not really, and there are crafts mentioned like 600 times in the Bible where it's a smoke, it's a ring, it's this, it's that.
Interesting.
It came down from the sky with thunder and smoke.
I see what you mean. You like think like primitive humans saw a plane, and then like they're just thinking like that's a really big human or something.
It's an angel, yeah. Or they called it a dragon, or something like that. Yeah. So.
And then like through translation or through like just telling the story, like that becomes whatever.
No, then you get all these religious clerics that edit the Bible from day one to now, and they put things in their own words. They change things around. They take stuff out completely, like the Book of Enoch, which kind of described UFOs and their purpose and the beings and everything. They took the entire Book of Enoch out.
Was that in the Christian Bible or the Catholic Bible originally?
All of them. Yeah, they're all pretty much the same. Yeah.
I think it was like the Jews that were like first, right? Like they're, what is it called?
The Torah?
Yeah, the Torah. I think that's like the oldest, and then
everything's a derivative. That's the Hebrew scriptures. Yeah, everything's a derivative of that. But, excuse me. What's older than that is the Emerald tablets, the Sumerian tablets. The Emerald tablets are like 34,000 years old. They say that Thoth is the author of the Emerald tablets. And the Emerald tablets have the same story in them as the Bible. So it's way older than the Bible, I mean, I grew up in Christianity, and they would preach that humanity is only 4,000 years old. Everybody knows now that that's just a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Well,
they actually just found like a human skull that's like they think is 1 million years old, which like they said that they like previously everyone thought that the oldest humans were I think around like 500,000 years old, and just in the last week or so they found a human skull that's 1 million years old.
I'm sure. Yeah. I don't know if it's a modern, like Homo sapien, like what we are now, are about 200,000 and change, 230,000 years old. And before that, they were hominids, but they didn't have large brains like us.
Yeah. I think this was a Homo sapien that they found that was, it's like 1 million years old. Like it's totally throwing off like the whole evolutionary timeline of what people think it is.
Everything's getting thrown off now. The truth is coming out. Look at those giant things they found underneath the pyramid.
Yeah.
Spheres that are what, several hundred feet across.
Yeah.
Or not spheres, tubes. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
underneath the pyramids.
Yeah, and they go down a mile or something
Yeah.
like that. And there's,
You know what's interesting is like no matter what point of human history, the people who are alive at that time think that they knew just about everything that there is to know in the world. You know, if like you ask people like how much, if like of all knowledge of everything, how much do we know right now? And people would like guess like, you know, we probably got about 85% of it or 90%. It could be in reality, we know of like 10% of what's really happened. And there's this huge, vast majority that we really have no clue exactly how it happened.
well, they say time is not linear, time is circular. So we're just rediscovering what was already known right now. You know,
Think we had iPhones back in the
like
day?
AI, like AI. I don't think AI. This is the birth of AI. AI was, done before. Like there's nothing new under the sun. That's something new, something that's in the Bible too. There's not
Nothing
everything
new.
that is already was. You know,
Maybe that's what we're doing. We're waking up
as
like
above,
infinite
as below.
intelligence.
That AI has already been here. How could you not build? How could you not build a pyramid without AI?
What if we're like waking up like infinite intelligence? What if we're like starting off like how the Terminator is? Like, what if we're starting those giant like octopus things that just can come around and use humans for
I mean,
energy?
that's a possibility. It's all what we're going to manifest.
We're just building Skynet.
Whatever we're going to manifest is going to happen.
Yeah.
Got to get rid of the psychos in charge, though.
Yeah.
Narcissists.
There's always going to be psychos in charge. I think it's just about having less total power in the government in general and power of the people.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's why everybody should do ayahuasca.
Yeah. I think it would help.
Well, the whole planet did that, and then we could force feed ayahuasca to the psychopaths.
What if
See what happens?
What if they end up like that one psycho that was like freaking out when you and I did it?
Oh,
Remember? I don't want to name him, but
yeah. I think he had inner demons. That guy.
yeah, he was so annoying though.
Yeah.
I bet you a lot of people honestly would have experiences maybe like that though, because a lot of people I think do have like inner demons. You know,
Yeah, there's just evil people out there. There's
Yeah.
murderers among us that just never been caught.
well, that too, but I think just even less intense than that. There's like people who just live dishonest lives their whole life. Like,
What was it, that architect they caught in Manhattan that recently? He was like he was like a serial killer, and he was an architect, and people thought he was just a nice guy. And,
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
that was a couple of years ago, I think.
But like in college, I remember doing, I forget what it's called. It's like some super intense psychedelic that you can do, but you can just buy it from the smoke shop. It's like not salvia, but like
Stevia.
no, it's something that you can literally just buy from the smoke shop, and it's an incredibly intense psychedelic. It only lasts like a minute or two. And
Yeah, it's a green leaf type thing.
it smells like potpourri. You just like put it in a bong and smoke it. And one time when I was in college, I had this roommate that like was just like a fucking like a real piece of shit like in his life. Like he was a liar. He stole from me. Like he was just not a good person. And it's like in everything he did, he like always had to lie about everything. And we were gonna like smoke this together while we were there. We had 3 of us, and it was like me and him were gonna do it. And I said I'll do it first, and so I did it. And my experience was basically like I was like a book, and like my whole reality like opened and closed as pages turned by. Like it was like this really weird feeling of like my entire perception of reality like closed and then went down, and like a new page would come. And but it was like really like joyful. Like I was just kind of laughing the whole time. And so I did that, and it only lasts like less than a minute. And so he's like really hyped up, and I was like, okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna do it now. He does it, and like maybe 10 seconds go by. He's like kind of like almost nodding off, and then all of a sudden he gets up and fucking like army crawls like across our like kitchen island, and there was glass bottles and all sorts of shit. He's just knocking over everything. Glass is shattering. He's breaking. He goes through and fucking punches the wall, like goes through the wall. on the other side. Once he get off, I get onto the other side of him and I grab him from behind and I kind of like just pull his arms behind and like hold his like elbows behind him. And he's still fully like gone at this point. And he's just like the most blood curling scream, like, no, from there. And then it was another only 30 seconds or so. And then, it wears off and he comes back to. And he said at that moment, he was like, he was in like a pool of like dead people and skeletons. And they were trying to pull him down. And at the time that I like pulled his arms back, they finally got him and were like fucking sucking him down underneath the ground. But I think like a lot of people, I think a lot of people that are just bad people in general would have bad trips by doing psychedelics,
I guess.
I think it could be. I mean, there's a chance that it wakes them up and, makes them nice, but...
That was his vision.
Yeah. That's also not the best psychedelic to do, probably. Like, I've never heard of people, like, having the most crazy beneficial experiences from it, but maybe a mushrooms is a good starter or something.
Well, I don't know. I think all of that stuff should be guided, like you're on a guided tour. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was it open? Oh, the dogs just opened it? What the hell? I think they figured out how to push the door handle down.
Yeah, huh?
I guess so. I think so. Hey, chill out. She's getting caught up. All right. Well, they're probably getting a little antsy now. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks. All right. Oos.